Alright everybody, so I'm just gonna tell you, like, this is the only course you need to know in order to know everything about fundraising, all the way down to where the VCs, what are private equity, like the sources of fund, stages of fund, and how you actually gonna do that, okay? So let's just quickly dive in and try to see that what is the overview and the outline of this course. So first of all, we're gonna talk about the market, like the market you're involved in. Second thing we're gonna talk about is the stages of funds. Then we will talk about the funding sources. Then we're going to talk about how you're going to create a pitch deck. Then you'll be talking about financial projection, which is very much important here. Then we're going to talk about prospecting the right set of investors. Then we're going to talk about writing compelling emails. Then we're going to talk about the most important thing, which is I think that you don't need to miss that, okay, to understand actual VC game, that how the venture capital works. Then we're going to talk about the dilution or the valuation, okay, how much you have to actually give or how much you have to value yourself. So this is the course outline. We're going to quickly dive in and going to discuss about like one by one. So first of all, like knowing your market. Why it's important to actually know your market? That's the question in here. So the thing is that whenever you're running any startup or a business, you have to make sure that you have a thorough understanding that how the landscape are actually working at this instance, so that you can actually try to, put yourself position yourself in a right way and create USPs for your business that will later become the major buying points for your business, for the consumers as well as investors. So it's very much important to get started with knowing your market. I'm going to give you all the strategies in this particular section like how you'll do the market research, how you will sort the element, how it will make sense out of it, okay? Then we're going to talk about types of funding sources, okay? So types of funding sources means that, like, there are a lot of funding sources, such as raising funds from crowdfunding platform, private equity, angel investor, acceleration program, incubation program, and a hell lot of other things, okay? So to be very true, there would be somewhere between 7 to 8 primary sources wherein you can raise funds from, and I'm going to talk about all the sources, okay, and how you actually all those systems work, okay? So next we're going to talk about stages of fund. Stage of fund is kind of complicated. So it started with friends, family, and full, like wherein you just trying to pour in like initial money. Later on, we're going to talk about all the stages, such as angel investors, venture capital, private equity, MPO, IPO, so that you have a clear idea that at which stage you're going to raise money from whom, okay? Later on, we're going to talk about creating the pitch deck. So the thing is that in order to discuss with anybody like in this world, or any investor in the world, you have to make sure that you have a right, well-designed pitch deck, which will become, the point of communication of your business to anybody to whom you are trading it. So creating a right pitch deck, following a good structure, and having an amazing design is such an important aspect. Then we're going to talk about financial projections, okay? So financial projections are very much important. Like, you as a startup, you are selling promises, and you have to make sure that you sell the promises in the form of these hypothetical numbers, and that's what financial projection is all about, wherein you project that how far your business could go in next 3 or 5 years with the fund you will raise from them, and how you're going to utilize that stuff and all. We're going to talk about how we'll create a financial projection for everything for your startup and which niche you are. It doesn't matter you are in the distribution niche or in the SaaS niche. I'm going to give you a standard framework that will actually work for everything, okay? Later on, we're going to talk about prospecting investors. So the thing is that now you know everything, okay, but you don't know how to prospect investors. So I'm going to give you all the strategies with which I can figure out investors online, their contact details, and how I approach them, okay? Then we're going to talk about writing compelling emails. See, the thing is that that email is like the most professional source of communication in today's world for business communication, right? And in order to master business communication, you have to make sure that you need to know how to write compelling emails. And in this particular section, I'm going to talk about all the strategies you need to know in order to understand that how compelling writing works and how it will actually give you the edge over it. Like, there are thousands of startups, dropping an email to any venture capital. You have to make sure that you'll stand out, and so that people could attract towards you and actually listen to you. So you have to grab their attention and then try and sell them. Then we're going to talk about understand the VC game. I've told you this before. It's very much important you need to know that how VC culture works, how they make money, how their framework works, so that you can talk in their terms. you can talk about their privileges. If you care so much about profits right away, then VC could not be your game, because they usually make money on the basis of valuation. Okay, so in this section we're going to talk about everything, you know, by like a VC actually needs to do. Then we're going to talk about valuation. Okay, how much to dilute and how much to raise. See, if you are actually raising money or starting business just to raise money, then I'll be very much true with you, this course could not be for you, because I'm going to talk about the raw strategies. Like, I'll tell you all the strategies just because you make sure that you'll raise funds and utilize them. So this particular section I'm going to talk about like how much you need to dilute and how much you need to raise. It depends on your need. It cannot depend on the desire. However, if you want something more than your need, then in that case you have to make sure that you'll over deliver that. In this particular section we're going to talk about everything, like how much you need to dilute, how much you need to raise and all. Then we're going to talk about negotiating the deal. See, the thing is that venture capitals are called sharks, and there's a reason why they are called sharks. You think that their money is going to make your life, you know, like heaven, but to be very true, if they wish, they can make your life hell. So you have to know, you need to have the strategies that how you can, you know, talk with the or negotiate with the sharks. Okay, I'm gonna give you all the principles and all the ups and sides you need to know before you negotiate with any venture capital, because they're sharks. Now we're gonna talk about art of closing. See, art of closing is like a very important thing. Ultimately, even if you're raising funds, you are making a sale. Okay, you are selling your promises and dreams, and if you're not a good closer, you cannot close the deal right away. Maybe you can attract the attention, your model is amazing, but you need to know how to close the deal so that you can, you know, just go ahead with the thing which you're looking for. So closing is very much important, and this is a big packet close. You have to make sure that it's not a small packet close, and you don't apply the small packet strategies in order to, you know, close investors and all. So I'm going to give you big packet strategies in this particular section that will help you actually close the deal. And this thing we're gonna very much important, and that is know the consequences. See, the thing is that consequences will come when you take someone's money. You start working from them. This is this famous saying in the landscape. So you have to be aware with the consequences, that if you are unable to deliver the promises which you have made at initial instance, what could go wrong with you. So I think that if I'm teaching you about raising funds, it's my more responsibility to actually let you know all the consequences if things not just work out in the right manner. Okay, then we're gonna talk about some big no-no. These are a couple of points which a lot of people make, and we have to make sure that you don't make these mistakes in front of them, so that you know, they are not get offended over the period of time at all. So these are some big no-nos you have to be aware with, and please join this course. You're gonna fucking love it. You're gonna love it, as this particular course is having everything you need to know to actually raise funds. Okay, from the internal strategies all the way to external principles. So if you get enrolled into it, it's gonna bring a lot of value to you. So thank you so much for watching this video. Take care.